Yup. Okay, let me stop speaking. Yes, it's your girl Chitteray, and I'm back with Chai Ray TV. Today I'm presenting to you chai tea, where I'm serving up, you know, tea for y'all lives. And I got my little mug, so get ready because I'm about to lay this topic on y'all heavy because it's relevant to everybody. Yep. See the memes and you hear people say, as you get older, you lose your friends. What a kind of negative way to look at it. Why can't we keep our friends as we get older? So instead of just saying, as you get older, you lose your friends, I just want to give y'all tips how to be a friend. And this is an important subject for everybody at every stage of life. As you grow older, you just learn who to value and who not to value. Now, all these tips I'm giving you are things that I've learned through my own mistakes. I'm not the best, I'm not perfect, but from what I've taken away from the people that have been in my life were lessons. I will be giving examples through stories from my own life. I will not say names, I will not disclose settings or describe them, so you know, people don't try to put them together, piece them together. Some of these people I talk about are still my friends, some people aren't, but these stories are still my own and I wish to share with you guys. My very first tip is open communication. It's important to be able to talk to whoever you befriend, whether it's good, whether it's bad. You have to build on your friendship. You have to have a space of vulnerability with that other person, and that goes both ways, like where you leave yourself open to constructive criticism and positive feedback and things that will just help you grow, because of course your friend wants the very best for you, so they would always tell you the truth, and you should always seek the truth and want the truth and trust the truth from your friend. I had this friend who was dealing with this fuck boy for a very long time. You see those memes where it's like when your friend always go back to the same guy, It was one of those situations. It was like very clear that he did not like her. To me, at least. I'm pretty sure he even said it. If I really think back, I'm pretty sure he even stated it clearly that he's not interested in her like that. And I just didn't understand why this was going on for years, of her falling in love, being in love, hating him, and then loving him again. Like, it was just hard for me to watch as a friend because I really did not like seeing her like this. And as we were growing older, like I said, this was years. This was years of me trying to give her advice, me being the person she goes to vent. Like, I was always open ears, open arms to her. And then we were about to be at the next stage of our life, and I was really thinking, I really love this girl. Like, this is one of my best friends, and I really don't like seeing her like this. But I don't want to be in this situation when we enter the next stage of our life. I really don't want to hear about this soon to be past in the next stage of our life. And I couldn't take it anymore, but I still didn't want to lose her. So I thought we had to have a conversation before we embark on this new adventure in our lives. And so I called her up and I was like, we have to talk face to face. I said, let's meet up, and we talked. I opened up to her, and it was hard because I had to let her know what was real. She couldn't use comforting words because that's just not how I was anymore. I was uncomfortable with the situation, and I was going to be uncomfortable in the future with the situation if it was brought up to me again. I had to tell her realistically how this guy was making her look. I told her the situation's really pathetic and that she was way different than the strong, confident woman that I met at the beginning of our friendship. At that point, I was like, you've changed so much and you let this guy get the best of you. I really didn't want that for her. And I told her, if this is who you choose to deal with and continue to deal with in the next stage of our life, I don't want to hear about it. I don't want you to come to me, and that might take away from our friendship. I can't be looking towards the future and wanting progress and success and then still battling over things that were years old, that don't matter and that are not going to change. So it's either you figure out what you're going to do, or you fully get over him, or you kind of lose a friend. And I had it, and I didn't want to give her an ultimatum, but it kind of felt like that situation. But I'm telling you, she made a very good choice. just went over our hump in our friendship at that moment. Like, we really got through it together, and I think she understood that where I was coming from was from a loving place, because I really adored and cared about her, and I did not want to see her play like the way this guy was playing her. And even though I had to use harsher words, I didn't curse her out or anything, but even though I had to use harsher words, I think it got across the message I was trying to tell her. And now she's with another guy that she loves and is having a great relationship with, and we're still friends and we still talk, and she's doing great, and I still love her to death, and I'm so happy she's still in my life, because if I was to lose her over that situation, if she chose him, like, who knows where she would be and where I would be without her. I'd probably be fine, but still, like, I would miss her. Yeah. So open communication is key, and talking to your friends and being real with them is important. I wish a lot of times a lot of my friends were real with me and told me the truth about certain things, because their opinions I value, know their place. Now, this is one I learned from a friend of mine, because I have this issue with friends where I immediately, there's something that goes on that I don't like, I kind of shut down communication, cut people off, block everybody. Like, that's my game. And like, she told me, like, it's not good to create those kind of enemies, but just learn where people could be valuable in your life. And I understood her when she said that I need to understand where their place is in my life, rather than, if they don't fit the mold of the best friend that I can have, see where they can fit and where do I benefit from that friendship. Here's one situation, another situation I had with a friend. I met her on the basis, our foundation was parties. We partied together. She was like my turn up twin. Like, I was turn up queen, but she was battling for the crown. Like, turn up. We partied hard together, and I loved her for that. Like, we were so good together. The way we both, like, we were each other's wing women. Like, everything we did was like super cool, and I just loved the vibe she gave me when we were out together. But then when I was going into my final year of my master's, I texted all my friends, texted most of my friends. I don't know if I texted all of them, but I told them couldn't party as much as I used to. I'll try to go to the important stuff that I have time to, but I want to focus on my education and getting the best grades possible. And at first she understood, but then I guess she started to forget what I was going through and what I originally told her. Like, after a while, she started texting me and asking me, like, why don't I go to parties anymore, or where have I been at, or what's wrong with me, or whatever. And like, just issues came up about parties, and I was like, I'm not arguing about this. I don't feel like this is as important, because I'm really like becoming frustrated over school. Like my final year of school was rough, really rough. And I didn't feel like explaining that much to her, because like I said, we only partied together. She wasn't the type of person I vent to about like certain issues in my life. And so, like, she didn't understand, even after I sent her that text message, that I wasn't really partying anymore. And so we got into this heated discussion. I wouldn't say an argument, but heated discussion over where she was like, okay, you've changed. I thought you were the type of person that can handle both school and in the social life and parties or whatever like that. And like, what's up with that? Like, she said that in a text message, and I was like, well, I am in a master's program, and like, it's a lot of work, so at this time I can't, even though I've said that before, because I have, at this point I've changed, like, and there's no fault in that. Like, I've changed. I can't go to parties anymore. I'm in school. I'm focused. Like, come on, like, give me a break. Like, come on. And she kind of took it as me slighting her and her degree, and she was like, well, I studied this, and this is way more important, this is and that's not what I was trying to say. I was trying to just tell her, for me, like, this is very important for me, and I'm trying to focus. And I don't know, she just didn't understand that. And so one day I just texted her, long text message, just saying that sorry, I don't like where this friendship is going, and I don't want to be friends anymore. It was long text messages, include a bunch of other things, because there were a lot of other elements that kind of just made her not seem like a loyal friend to me. So included all of that, but it was like that was one of the reasons. She wanted to party when I was in school. So like, it was spring semester when I texted her this, and we got into another heated discussion, more like an argument about our friendship. And did not hate her or anything like that. It was just that at that time I just didn't feel like she was a very good friend. But wait, when the summertime came and I graduated from school this past summer, I forgot that I needed a party friend to party with when I graduated from school. And although I did have a fun summer with the people I did hang out with, I kind of missed her vibe when I was at parties. I kind of missed having her around. It really just had me thinking maybe I could have handled the situation very differently. I shouldn't have just completely cut her off and felt the need to do so, because at that moment I was just stressed in life. I did feel like we probably could have worked through these situations. Like, probably could have talked them out. We probably could have openly communicated and discussed these situations and got over them and been better. And I probably could have learned that she was better as a party friend more than anything else. Mutually beneficial friendships, and that's just something I have to have in anybody I bring into my life. Like, I don't like people coming to my life just to take. You have to bring something to the table. If this is my table that I fixed up, made it look all pretty, you have to bring something to it. Just as your table that you fixed up, I'll bring something to your table. I think even though I'm not perfect, I think I'm a great friend. I think I do really appreciate and love the people that I surround myself with. And so if you're going to be a friend of mine, I have to be benefiting in some way from you. Like I said, you don't have to be 100% friend. I might not go to every friend event too, but there's always something you can appreciate about a person. Okay, so I'll just disclose this description for this example. So back in college, it was the morning after a really turned up party at my house. I miss college so much. Yes, it was a turned up party, and the next morning I walked outside my door and my car was missing. Yes, only I have these kinds of problems. Yes. So my car is missing, and I was searching everywhere for it. As much as I can do. Because I was still a little hungover, but like, I walked a little bit to campus. I knew I wouldn't park it on campus. I knew it should be around my neighborhood, and my neighborhood was pretty open views, so I should be able to see it from any distance. I checked other housing parking lots, and I just couldn't find my car. I was like, where is it? What's going on? But like, at that time, let me tell you a little bit about my friend. I had a friend. He was super cool. Love him to death. And we just clicked so well. And he was a friend that he was always coming over to my place to tell me about stuff going on in his life. He was always talking about himself. Of course, I would share about myself because, I could talk about myself all day too. But he would, call me at any hour, text me at any hour, come over at any hour to tell me about different things going on in his life, the successful things he's doing with his career. And I would always love hearing it because his life was so interesting to me. I have open arms to any friend, any hour you can talk to me. And I even remember particularly one morning, it was early morning. I don't know if I was laying in my bed texting, but I was like not all the way up. I still had, my bonnet on and my robe on, and like, he was knocking on my door, like, and I invited him in, like, there was no problem. And he was not a love interest of mine, so I didn't care if he saw me any type of way. But he was like, he came over really early in the morning before I got up for the day, and just was telling me more about things he was going on in his life. And I was just listening intently, having an engaging conversation with him, even though I was, tired, looked a mess and everything. And like, so I was always there for him. Now, back to that next morning when I lost my car. I walked over to his house to ask if he saw it. So I knocked on the door, and I knock a few times before he comes down, and he's like half asleep, and he's like, what? Like, real attitude, like, what? And I'm like, are you serious? I'm like, whatever. I'm like, hey, have you seen my car? I lost it, can't find it. And he just leaves his door open, goes upstairs, and he said, like, you can ask my roommates, or you can look for I think I was looking for my keys too. And he was like, you can look for your keys here. And he goes back upstairs to his room, goes back to sleep. And I was like, what? Are you serious? Like, are you serious? Like, I was thinking of all the times he bombarded my life with all his, just anytime, all the time, texting me, calling me about shit. The one time I actually need him for help, he couldn't be there for me, and he just walks off and goes back to sleep, I was like really like hurt at that moment. But funny thing is, as I was walking to my house, I got a view of my backyard, which I hadn't checked. My car was parked in the lawn of my backyard. I think I parked it there because, you know, drunk people at night, my driveway's in front of my house, in front of my front door, didn't want people to, like, you know, F up my shit. So I parked it in the back. And so yeah, I saw my car, got my car, everything was fine, but still felt really bad that my friend treated me that way that morning. And so I just, you know, ghosted him. Like, I just didn't answer his calls, didn't answer his texts. I don't know, he never came over during that time or whatever like that. I guess he sensed the vibe that I was giving out by ghosting, and I just didn't really want to talk. I forgot how long I let it go on for, but I didn't openly communicate with him as I should have. So one day he texted me, I think, and I guess I was finally ready to talk because I was over the situation, so I can talk it out. And we had a conversation over the phone about it. And he was like, "Yo, what's up with you? What's wrong with you?" Da 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 da. And I explained to him the story and how I felt, and I told him that I didn't appreciate that, how he treated me, and like he 100% understood where I was coming from, and he was concerned that I would let this issue go on for so long without talking to him about it. And I guess I didn't expect him to react that way. I didn't expect him to have such a great reaction, but I was happy that he really appreciated me coming to him and talking to him about it, and he understood where I was coming from, because I really did feel hurt in the situation, and I wish I did talk to him sooner because we didn't have to go for so long without talking. So like, I should have openly communicated with him. But as far as friendships go, like, they have to be mutually beneficial. Like, I cut him off because I didn't feel like he was a benefit to my life as much as I was to him. I was open arms, open door for him whenever he would come over and wanted to talk. But in that moment of need, he couldn't be there for me, and so I just didn't think he was beneficial for my life, so I was ready to cut him off. And so whenever you're looking at your friends, make sure you're receiving the same thing you're giving to them. At the very least, something that is beneficial to you. Everyone gotta bring something to this table, you better believe. Like, okay, so next tip is very important and also applies to many areas of life, especially with social media, and it's don't compare. No matter what, your path in life is always going to be different than every single person else in this world. You are the only you, and no matter what, you should not compare yourself to people and bring yourself down because you're not at that level. Even if you guys are the same age, even if you guys went to the same school, even if you guys have been friends for so long, it shouldn't matter. No matter what, you are different because you are you. If you're going to look at your friends, it should be in a way where you are motivated by them. You shouldn't allow where they are in life to make you feel negative about where you are in life, but where they are in life should motivate you to do better. One of my best friends, she's in medical school and she's going to be a doctor very soon, and that's very exciting for me, and I'm so proud of her, and she's achieved so much, and she's dealing with so much, being that she's in medical school with a few more years left, and I'm just extremely proud of her. But I can't compare myself to her because I'm not going for a medical degree, and I'm not in the medical field, and our careers are completely different. And even though we've been friends for over a decade, I don't feel as if we have to be in the same place. I feel as if she's doing great for herself, I'm doing great for myself, and we can still love each other no matter where we are in life. I see her and I use her as a motivation to get even further though, because like sometimes she'll post on her Snapchats. This is like incredibly descriptive if you follow her on Snapchat, but sometimes she'll post on her Snapchats her running on a treadmill or an elliptical, using the elliptical at the gym while reading a big medical textbook or studying medical PowerPoints on her tablet or iPad, whatever she has. And I would be like, wow, she is really, really in this. Like, she's really about this like study life, and she's always been like really into her books. And so I love her for that, and I can only use her as motivation in my life. Like, of course, I like to run on treadmills and sprint on treadmills, so I can't read a book while I'm on a treadmill. But like when I was in my final year of school, I I really focused and really buckled down on my education and studying, because I saw her being she's so hardworking. I used that to motivate me to do better too. And that's why I can appreciate her. Don't compare, appreciate. Don't hate, appreciate. Don't hate, motivate. So plan your life out, go on your path, and do what is right for you, your life, your career, whatever it is, rather than comparing yourself and then trying to reach somewhere you're not supposed to be and falling how many steps behind. It's not important. Use your friends as motivation. Don't compare. So even though I created this entire video on how to be a friend, it's still very important to know when to call it quits. You have to know when too much is too much and enough is enough, and they just might not be a great friend for you. I had this one friend for a very long time and I loved her to death. We were like sisters, and we just went through a lot at the end of our friendship. And here's what I think the key problem was. At the beginning of our friendship, we never had any conflict. We were one and the same. We were basically sisters. Like, God forgot to put us together, pretty much. We had the same ways of thinking. We were just like right here with it. And at the end of our friendship, when conflict did start to arise, it was like probably the last 3 years of our friendship, we did not know how to handle it. Like I said, I'm not perfect. I don't always openly communicate. Sometimes I shut down, shut off, and ghost, which is no good either. I didn't know how to handle when we had problems, and a lot of our problems became just really heated really fast, or they would simmer, then blow up over a small issue. Like, it was just very hard at the end of our friendship to maintain it. I was just doing a lot for a friendship that I feel like she wasn't giving back. I hate that I waited for a big explosive moment to end our friendship. It doesn't have to come to a really negative situation for you to know that you need to get out of this friendship and that this friendship is toxic. Understand when it's becoming too much, and make sure you actually try to work hard to save your friendship before you decide to let it go. If you feel like you've given enough to work towards a friendship and you don't see it being reciprocated, and you don't think it's gonna be reciprocated after you've openly communicated how you felt, let it go. That friendship, I can tell you that I feel like a weight lifted off my shoulders. It was a lot to maintain that friendship, and so I'm glad about where I'm at, who's in my life now. Learning these lessons have made me value the people that I have in my life more. I hope you can really take away from these tips that I gave, and you can learn from this and bring people into your life that you can really appreciate and open up to and grow with, and that's the important part. So I hope you enjoyed that bit of tea from my life. And a quick disclaimer, I know I shared intimate parts of my life as well as others because they are also in the situation with me. I have 100% right to share these situations with you guys, but if any friends feel I've kind of slighted them in my video today, please openly communicate with me. Talk to me, let me know how you feel. I'll understand. It's no big deal. I don't think it is. So yeah, love you always. I hope you all enjoyed watching Chai Ray TV, and stay tuned for more. Now we out. Bye.